Welcome to Stitches in Time, the podcast discussing Doctor Who the way it was meant to be watched, in chronological order, one clip at a time, starting at the Big Bang and ending with the heat death of the universe. I'm Becca, the Matrix Archivist, and I spent the last 13 years of my life meticulously editing the entire televised Doctor Who universe into chronological order.
And I'm Ben, and if I went to a friend's house and they tried to teach me a bunch of new board games I really didn't want to play, I'd probably want to get out of there pretty quick too.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's really...
There's no burning desire to play what is, I'm very sure, is supposed to be called the Trilogic game, because it's try as in... But instead, it's try as in triangle. I just did the Bill Cipher with my hands for the people listening to this on the Impoded cast feed. Yeah. Hey, you might notice something a little weird about Mandy's voice this week. Do we want to address that?
Is it that she's going by Ben now and speaking in a British?
So I started my transition. So Mandy's just taking a little bit of a break for the podcast just to kind of decompress for some personal reasons. If you have seen mine, or more importantly her social media over the last couple of weeks, you probably know why. I don't want to really go into it here, but she just needs a little time, so I'm going to be filling in for a handful of episodes. I was supposed to be the guest on this episode anyway, so I'm pulling double duty. Which means that
sorry. And also joining us is Ben Paddon.
Hi, how you doing? So yeah, that's me. I'm not the step host. I'm just the host who stepped up. And Mandy will be back in due course. But for that, in the meantime, as one of the producers of the show, I thought it'd be good to offer to give her a little break, give her some time, and she said yes. So here I am, being the temporary replacement. I know I can't replace your Mandy, and I'm not trying to, but I want you to know that I'm here, and I'm not going to force it, but I'm here as much or as little as you want or need me to be. And
we want to stress to our listeners that Mandy not being here, it's not your fault. Like, it has nothing to do with you. It's just we have, certain needs, and but we will always love our podcast listeners.
Yeah. Hey, I have a question. Is the video in the background right now going to get this YouTube upload immediately blacklisted?
Should I probably?
I think it's podcast listener. You might be interested to know. So Becca usually has something on in the background, and usually when I've been on the show, it's like a swirling vortex or a starfield. And this week, I did see you queue up something on what I guess is Amazon Prime Video, and I thought, okay, I guess maybe someone's uploaded 1 hour and 36 minutes of Starfield to Amazon. That's fine. That's cool. No, it is the Disney Pixar movie Toy Story. Screenplay by Joss Whedon, Andrew Stanton, Joel Cohen, and a fourth person whose name I didn't read in time because it disappeared. And I fully get why you've put that on in the background.
Yeah.
I'm for it.
Great.
I just don't want you to get into
legal
quagmire.
If it gets struck, I will do a very bad
bodge job.
Just a post-production
Does that mean where your hand
blur.
just went up, your fingers are going to get sliced off?
Yeah.
Cool, brilliant. And now your head. Oh no, Becca! Oh no! Oh, the violence!
Oh wait, hang on. Oh no, I'm just a hand today.
Cool. Look forward to about 27 minutes into the podcast where I start singing Come Together by the Beatles in full. It's gonna be great.
Yes, and in case you have not guessed it yet, today we are talking about the Celestial Toymaker.
Oh, okay.
God damn it. We're talking about the Celestial Toymaker.
Now where have you taken the doctor?
Taken the doctor? Nowhere, my dear chap. The doctor and I are going to play a little game together.
This is a William Hartnell story.
A seminal classic.
Yeah, it sure happened.
No. It's seminal in that they jizzed it out very quickly. Sorry, that's the worst thing I've ever said.
You are
It's
a bad
up there.
person.
It's bad. God. I think seminal classic might just be my cast revolver. I think that's gonna be the thing that I'm known for among Stitches in Time fans.
Great.
Yeah.
Make a good first impression, Ben, because you've never.
Yeah.
Well, this is
No
your
one's
first
ever heard.
impression.
This is a voice reveal for producer Ben Paddon. No one's heard my voice before.
Yeah. But it's specifically because you're stepping in as host. Co-host. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crucial. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a randomly generated year 2879 BCE.
Yeah.
And it's four parts, and this is one of the episodes of Classic Who that was lost and then animated using the audio track that they still have.
Yeah, this was also the episode that they were going to get rid of Bill Hartnell in. This was they made him disappear.
Keep playing, Doctor. And to stop you interfering, I shall have to dematerialize you again. There.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
So, funny story. William Hartnell was dying. Not dying, but certainly very ill, and was kind of difficult to work with as a result of that. Also, a little racist, I'm hearing, is what I've heard. But not a problem in 60s Britain or 2020s Britain.
I have things to say.
Yeah.
There's so much to say about racism in this episode, but we'll get there.
Yeah, the title of the episode alone. Hartnell becoming invisible was partly for production purposes. It meant they could record some stuff while they were recording other stuff. It meant that it gave them an easy out if Hartnell needed to take pull a sickie, or not pull a sickie, that implies he was faking. The only thing he was faking was that he was the Doctor. That was acting, which is a form of fakery. If you've ever seen Galaxy Quest, it's basically that. So they made him invisible, and they took his voice away for a whole episode so that he didn't have to be on set. And one of the early ideas for what would eventually become Regeneration and what would eventually lead to Hartnell turning into Troughton at the end of the 10th planet was, well, we've turned him invisible. What if when we brought him back, we just had someone else playing? And we say that the Toymaker changed his appearance. And they didn't do that. And thank God they didn't, because Regeneration is a hallmark of the show. It's the thing that has allowed it to exist for 62 years. So if they had made that choice now, we might not be talking about Doctor Who, or your editing project might have been significantly easier.
I've edited all 3 seasons of Doctor Who into chronological order.
And half of it's missing, so job done. God, actually, I would wager if Doctor Who hadn't lasted long, I would wager there would be more missing episodes, because there would be little to no interest in finding anything that was missing.
True.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Ian Levine, if that is your real name, which it is.
Da 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 da. All right.
The famous Ian Levine theme. Ian the theme, if you will. Nope, not sticking that in. Okay.
No, I was getting into a dance battle with him, but that's okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. West Side Story, where Side has AI in it because he's famously doing AI recreations of missing episodes that look like horse shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do want to actually address that, because I have, one of my goals in Stitches in Time, and this is pertinent to this episode too. For these missing episodes, I do want to try and have it be, as watchable as possible, but also, like, if I can, as close to what people would have seen on screen as possible, which is why in the Stitches in Time edit, I have the three animated episodes of the Celestial Toymaker, and then I have the part 4, which is surviving, because it's great that we have the originals, and like
I love that. And I think the interesting thing with the animated reconstructions, I love that they do remaster the original episodes as well and include them on the Blu-ray. I absolutely adore that. I think that's so important, that you can either watch the animated version or watch it with the original episodes included where possible. And that's usually what I do, because usually they animate 2 versions. They do a color version that's in widescreen that is just animated, all of it's animated, and then there's a disc with the black and white episodes. And if there is an original episode, that is included in place of the version that they've animated. And the black and whites with the originals is usually how I watch it. The Celestial Toymaker is an exception to that rule, because the animation is so far, I don't want to say removed, because I think conceptually in the abstract, I think the animation kind of does what the fandom has done to this serial over in the years, because it's missing it. It's always had this mystique, and there's a certain fandom consensus that has existed since the 80s, because the only episode 4 was surviving, that it was kind of this weird, artsy, avant-garde kind of adventure. And then you listen to it, because the audio exists, and you listen to it, and it turns out it's just a bit crap. So when they're doing the animated reconstructions, over the years, they've kind of walked this line between how faithful do they stay to the originals, and what do they make changes to suit the animated medium. And this particular serial is the serial where I 1,000% agree with the idea of throw out what they filmed. Don't just try to recreate what they filmed. Go wild with it, because it's supposed to be this weird abstract realm of games. It's the Toy Master's domain. And what they shoot and what you see in the surviving episode is some people on a soundstage. It's not great. It's dull and bad. And the animation, I don't like this story, but I love the choices that they made for the animation. I'm just going to go ahead and say that up top. This is the story. I will watch all 4 episodes animated in color, because it is such a vibrant. Don't go into this expecting Pixar, because it's CG animation on a BBC budget. But it is, you can tell that they've done what they can to make something that is visually interesting. It's a huge step up from the 3D animation they did for that one missing episode of The Abominable Snowman. And I think this is the most interesting that this particular classic Doctor Who serial has ever been. I don't have any desire to watch it again. And when I watched it for this, I watched it at 1.5 speed so I could get through it as quickly as possible. But it is, at least now, in the year of our Lord 20 and then 20 and then another 5, visually interesting to watch in a way that it just wasn't in 65.
Yeah.
65, 66.
And that's, it is like, it's also very different from the other, because, most of the other animated reconstructions are, 2D and...
kind of Archer on a budget style animation.
Yeah. And these are very different. And I think the weirdest thing about this animation style to me is the fact that there are, like, they have shadows as textures on the things. On like the people's faces,
everything's
but then
it's contoured,
yeah. But then they also have, like, CGI lighting that actually casts shadows. It's very, very weird, but like you kind of get used to it a little bit.
Yeah, I will say, I don't know how much time we want to spend talking just about the animation. I think, but I do think there's a lot to talk about here, because the animation is good. It's really good. Yeah. It makes this story watchable. And this is, I think, the second animated recon in this animated reconstruction range, after the second Hartnell recon. So the first one was Galaxy 4. And Hartnell in Galaxy 4 does look like they've stuck an approximation of Hartnell's head onto John Cena's body and then dressed him as the first Doctor. Whereas in this, it feels like they've done a better job of approximating what Hartnell kind of looks like, even though his monocle is painted on and, some of the costume elements don't quite look right. I think that we will finally get a perfectly animated Hartnell, and it will be whatever the last Hartnell story is that they do, which will end up being, I don't know,
probably Dalek's master plan. I would guess.
It will be that one story that's a one part of it he's not in. That's going to be the last one they animate. I can't remember the name of it.
Mission to the Unknown.
Mission to the Unknown. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will say, I mean, we haven't gotten there, and we won't get there for a long time because that
years,
it's a while. But the like a bunch of film students as their like senior project made a remake of it that is phenomenal.
Yeah,
and
I've seen that. It's shockingly well
and
done.
that's the version I have in Stitches because it's just like it's so good, and it's so faithful to like the lighting style and the filming style of 60s television. And it's like, oh yeah, no, that actually is, it's weird that it looks a little too crisp for 60s.
Yeah, put some Gaussian blur on that thing, fuzz it up a bit. Stick some film grain on there, distort the frame a little bit. Give it to the Doctor Who restoration team to try to touch up and fix. Just fuck up the film and then hand it to them and say, fix it. Like, but you just...
Put some little hairs on the film and stuff,
Just have a hair get stuck there for 2.5 minutes. And then get Mark Ayres to go in and restore the soundtrack. Yeah.
Perfect.
Anyway, I do want to. The animation I think is really, really good. I think this is one of my, in terms of the visuals, one of my favorites in the animated range, just because of how they really go for it. And that's not to say that that's something I want for every animated Doctor Who restoration, but for this story, absolutely,
it works so well.
Yeah. It's really, really good.
It's really good. Especially the first episode with the obstacle course. I think that's where the animation really
shines.
Just like you get a sense of like, oh, they are going for it, because they do. It's like, oh yeah, different things with gravity, and nothing has to make sense. And then even the Toymaker himself is giant in some frames and normal size in others, and it's kind of trippy sometimes, but.
Yeah, they do a really good job of making it interesting, especially that sequence with the kind of the music and the playing cards in episode 3. Like, I don't know what was supposed to be there in the original, but I think it was like they do a little dance.
Right.
And this is so much more interesting to look at.
Yeah, they basically replaced it with, hey, let's do the Celestial Toymaker's version of that drug-induced dream sequence from The Big Lebowski.
Absolutely. Let's have the Doctor Who viewing audience, which may include children, experience an approximation of a drug trip.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Yeah.
It's really good. I also just on the animation, the Dodo. I don't know if you know this, but I noticed this pretty much right on, and then I was just like unable to stop seeing it. Dodo is animated as like having back sweat on her shirt.
I had not noticed that.
That's
a choice.
Yeah,
why?
They put that in on purpose for some reason.
They were trying to do like back shadow contouring, and it just looks awful.
That might be it. I don't know.
I choose to believe, because I can't believe, because I think, did Gary Russell produce this one or direct this one? Because I can't believe that Gary would be like, hey, Dodo, the First Doctor's companion who was radically underserved and then just disappears during the events of the War Machines. Let's give her a sweaty back. I can't imagine that's the choice that was made. I think it's poor contouring. I think it has to be poor contouring. I want to believe
that might be it.
It's going to be
that might be it.
I'm going to have that X-Files poster on my wall and it says I want to believe, and it's just going to be Dodo's back. That's all right. Do we want to talk about the story proper?
I guess we should.
We probably should. Yeah.
So yeah, so this is a 4-parter.
Sure is.
The first episode, the Celestial Toy Room. Well, actually, I should say in the Stitches in Time edit, we're also looking at like the last minute or so of the arc as well,
which I did not watch because that wasn't my purview.
The TARDIS lands in a weird place, and the Doctor disappears. I mean, literally turns invisible.
What a weird choice.
Yeah.
And good for them. Good for them.
Yeah. And basically the plot of this is that they have to play games.
Yeah.
Against the Toymaker and the Toymaker's toys, I guess.
There's a thing at the beginning of this episode where the Doctor says, "Well, we are here now. We're in this domain. We have to face it." Who's we, my guy? This is all you. This is you projecting. You think you have to face it. You are invisible. You then ask Stephen, like you don't explain any of this. It's vaguely explained that later that he's met the Toymaker before, but didn't stick around. He just kind of, he was like, nope, turned around and left. That's what the Toymaker says the Doctor did. Like, you barely had time to turn around and leave. Like, okay, cool.
Right.
Hartnell noped out of your first encounter so bad it doesn't exist. That didn't get written. And then, on this occasion, you are invisible. You're like, no, I've got to face it. I've got to face whatever it is. We've got to face it together. Stephen opened the door for me. Open the pod bay door, Steve. And then Steve opens the doors. And then for a minute, I guess to fill time, Stephen and Dodo are like, why the fuck did he have... He's incorporeal. He asked me to press the button on the thing because he can't do it. Why didn't he just walk out through the door? And I don't think... They didn't need to address that.
Right.
They've already established the TARDIS is extra-dimensional. It is a different space. You don't need to... Hey, writers, you don't have... Listen. Hi. I mean, you're probably dead. We can but hope. And I don't think you needed to... Like, why is this... You don't explain anything else in this story. Nothing else. What is the Toymaker? What is the Toymaker's domain? Why does it get destroyed if he loses one game? How does he create a new one? No, the thing you want to explain, writers of this particular serial, is why didn't the Doctor just walk through the door? You don't need... Listen. Stop. You are hanging your hat on the wrong hook.
Yeah. It's it's weird, but yeah, and then they go out and they meet the Celestial Toymaker. Now, do we want to should we talk about racism for a second?
let's talk specifically about the words used for the title of the serial. The Toymaker is largely referred to now, particularly in the 60th anniversary specials, as just the Toymaker, and is sometimes referred to in this serial as the Toymaker, but is sometimes referred to by the full name, the Celestial Toymaker. And the problem with that is that Celestial, at least at the time in the 60s, I don't know if it still is, but in the 60s was a slur for people of Asian descent. And they have Michael Gough, who would later go on to play Alfred in the Tim Burton Batman movies, and the Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, which are not good movies, but hey, I'm glad he's getting that money, or he was getting that money. Tim Burton just loved him because he did all those Hammer horror movies. But I'm digressing so bad right now. The use of that word in, like, I think that modern Doctor Who fans do not appreciate the intent of that word. I think in the 60s, I think the writers intended it as a kind of a pun, in that it is, the word celestial can mean of space, of the universe, but is also a slur. So I think they thought it was a clever play on words.
Right.
And what it is a slur. And there's no way to tap dance around it. And we've said the word a lot already in this episode, and I'm not going to say it anymore. Yeah. I don't think it's a slur anymore, but also it's really not my place. It makes me so uncomfortable.
Make that claim.
I think it's difficult for us as a pair of like white people who are not of Asian descent, as far as I'm aware. Maybe.
I mean, like, we're all the children of Genghis Khan.
Yeah, we all have a certain percentage of Genghis Khan DNA. And so there's kind of this unfortunate mark on classic Doctor Who that has been forgotten, that it's this mark, and there was something disappointing about hearing that word used in The Giggle when the Doctor is trying to convince the Toymaker to we'll play games across the stars, and he says, and obviously he's not meaning it in the slur sense, but he says we could be celestial, and it's like, I really wish that was not because Russell T Davies in the commentary, in the making of materials, acknowledges the racism at the core of the character, like at the character's creation in the 60s, the outfit, the use of the that particular word in his moniker.
Yeah, because we should stress it's not just that word that is part of the he is in like, he's supposed to be in like Asian garb, and he's being played by a white man.
Yeah, if it had been shot in color, he would have been in yellowface, and let's not pretend that it would have been anything but, because classic Doctor Who did yellowface multiple times.
We've seen it already with Mavic Chen.
Yeah,
and
and it's bad, and it's bad. It's these are choices that, you know, they were made, and we can acknowledge that they were bad choices and they shouldn't have happened. But that's kind of, it's one of the things that I am glad that Russell incorporated that element of, because the character is like, the Toymaker is racist in The Giggle. He says racist things. He is a racist caricature. And I'm glad that Russell T Davies acknowledges that, and doesn't shy away from it, and kind of says, yeah, this is at the core of who the character is.
Right.
But in order to do that, you have to acknowledge that that's part of the genesis of this character, is that there's a lot of production choices that were made that are just there to be mean, be cruel. Yeah. And were unnecessary.
There's also the N-word appears in this episode as well.
Oh, it does. Yes, the eeny meeny miny mo.
Yes, because it used to not be catch a tiger by his toe.
Yeah.
It used to be not that, and they've cut that line out from the animation, which I think is the right choice.
Yeah.
The really weird part of this to me is that, because I watched, you know, the original, just be able to talk about, and you know, if you look at this transcript, it says like eeny meeny miny mo, catch a by his toe, but if you listen to the original audio, he's just mumbling it to himself. It's just like, and the only reason you can tell that he's doing eeny meeny miny mo is by the cadence of the...
Yeah.
Except for the N-word, which he says the loudest of any of those words. And it's just... I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, 1960s. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's choices. And it wasn't okay then, and it's not okay now.
Yeah.
And but we're having fun talking about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good shit.
I feel like usually on this podcast, if we get into heavy stuff, it's like toward the end, but we're just like out of the gate. We're like, let's talk about the hard things.
Yeah. I like that we're talking about prejudice as Woody is hate criming Buzz Lightyear right now in the background. It's like, you're a spaceman and you're cooler than me. I hate you. Mm-hmm. Which means Woody is a Republican. You're cooler than me. I hate you. There are no cool Republicans.
True. Okay, I want to talk about episode 1, the obstacle course specifically.
Does that happen during the pod race, or is this a different? Yeah, you got there.
Why did that take me so long? That's my question.
I was watching the wheels turn behind your eyes. There were a lot of little Beccas, and they're going, "What the fuck does that mean?" And then it was like there was a moment of what they all stopped and went, "That motherfucker."
Anyway, during the pod race, so one of the clowns that they're playing the obstacle course against can only speak in honk noises.
Yeah.
In I will say one honk, one specific honk sound effect.
Like, yeah.
And then also Dodo is supposed to be directing Steven through the obstacle course and trying to give him directions, but she's not allowed to speak to him. She's only allowed to honk at him using a different honk sound.
A distinctly different honk, yeah.
So I'm so glad the animation exists, because watching the telesnap recon of this is torture. Because that sequence is mostly just
honking
at 2 different pitches. Just
Imagine listening to that audio while you're jogging and suddenly thinking, am I being chased by geese right now? What is happening?
Oh, it's bad. So they and also the premise of this episode with the doctor is that he's supposed to be doing this trilogic game, and the Toymaker is like, oh, your friends like only have until you finish the trilogic game to complete all of their games so you can get back to the TARDIS. Which doesn't make sense.
Nope. Something in this story that doesn't make sense? What?
I think this is, and yeah, I am saying that there is racist stuff in this episode. I'm going to say this is the worst thing about this episode. Is that he and they realize this clearly in the subsequent episodes of like, oh, the doctor could just not play the game and give Steven and Dodo as much time as they would possibly need. So then the Toymaker is like, well, let's fast forward through the number of moves that.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, why?
It's also not a complicated game that they're playing. Like,
right.
I don't know about you, but I played that game as a baby.
Mm-hmm.
As a baby, I played this game.
Yeah, it's a very popular baby's toy.
Yeah.
They're playing with.
Yeah, you have to use your hands. It's like a baby's toy. Yeah, it's just messed up.
Thank you, Elijah Wood. What else to it? Oh. The clown who can talk in the obstacle course part, who
is in the animation is basically a sack with a face on it.
Yep. She's named Clara.
Yeah.
And
except it is pronounced Clara.
Clara.
She does say Clara, but I watched it with the subtitles on, and she said Clara. Well, it's spelled Clara. It's the same spelling.
So I'm just assuming that she is one of the Clara Oswalds that got splintered through into the Doctor's timeline.
No reason to believe otherwise.
Yeah.
Does she help in any way?
They do win the game, so in a sense, she helps by losing the game to them?
Question mark?
Question mark? So also, this... every episode of this... the first 3 episodes...
It's just stuff happening.
...of this story also all end with basically Stephen and Dodo win the game of that episode, go into a fake TARDIS, and there's like a note pinned there with a riddle that rhymes, and that, oh, if you're watching at home, you can try and solve yourself. Except they're not solvable riddles.
No. This is one of my big pet peeves in any TV show or movie that has... like, God bless Batman Forever, because those riddles are solvable. Those riddles are those riddles mean something. This is just, oh, if you sit in a chair, you'll be stuck there. If you do the dance, you'll be trapped in a trap. Like, what the... None of this means anything.
Yeah.
This is you writing rhymes because you have a deadline and half an hour to fill.
Right. But and they do tease you though, because the first half of the first one is solvable. It's 4 legs, no feet, of arms no lack. It carries no burden on its back, which is a chair.
Yeah.
But then the second part of that same riddle is 6 deadly sisters, 7 for choice, call the servants without voice. Which
it's just a description of things.
It's just a description of the next episode.
It's a description of the next
mystery
episode.
form.
Dumb. Yeah, it's this is really classic Doctor Who treading water. This is classic Doctor Who trying to fill 4 weeks of television. And God bless him. You know, Chibnall had to do the same thing when he made Flux. Flux is in many ways Chibnall's The Celestial Toymaker. Like, that really is... You know, they just had to get it done, and they got it done, and they moved on, and the next story is The Gunfighters, which fucking slaps. They just had to fill four episodes, 25 minutes a pop, with stuff so they could get to The Gunfighters.
Yeah.
And that, you know what? This is them tickling the balls. This is them edging Doctor Who fans before they get to the really good shit. And I don't have any truck with old school classic Doctor Who fans who say that this story is an avant-garde artistic classic and The Gunfighters is a hot mess. The Gunfighters is delightful. I love The Gunfighters. That is Doctor Who kind of doing a musical in the Wild West with a bunch of actors who are not American and is fucking nailing it. It's great.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But if you are watching this week after week, you have to get through this for 4 weeks, and your reward is a showdown at the OK Corral.
Right.
I love it.
Which is great, but that's a rough month for people who like Doctor Who.
Unless you're 4. I think if you're 4, there's possibly something to pull from the imagery.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't... For the more sophisticated viewer, it's just shit. I don't want to just poo-poo on Doctor Who when it's bad.
Right.
But when they put poo-poo on the screen, there's only so much I can do.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a slog. This is a real slog.
And it didn't have to be. It didn't have to be shit.
Yeah.
And my argument for this is episode 1 of The Mind Robber, where they had to extend that whole serial by 1 episode, and they're like, okay, cool, I guess we need to write one more episode. Do we have any money? And they laughed for 27 minutes. And the only things they have are the TARDIS set and a unpainted white studio and some robot costumes from a different show. And for a budget of -£8, they made one of my favorite I love The Mind Robber, but that first episode is, as a kid, it terrified me. This didn't. So I do not truck with the idea of the Celestial Toymaker is bad because they had budgetary constraints. All of Doctor Who has had budgetary constraints. The Disney Plus Doctor Who had budgetary constraints. And they still managed to make a watchable show, which is not what the Celestial Toymaker was at broadcast. The animated version looks gorgeous. It's gorgeous. But that's because they went back and tried to make it good.
Yeah. They fundamentally changed this episode.
Yeah, I really, like, you watch the first episode of The Mind Robber and watch them make something phenomenal out of nothing. They are spinning gold out of wishes. And then you go back and you watch this, it's like, why couldn't... And the reality is it's a different production team, it's a different writer, there's a lot of reasons why why this particular serial just doesn't come together. Yeah. And it was never... There's maybe a reality where this story comes together, where the game elements work, but I think the fact of the matter is this is just the show trying to fill time for 4 weeks. It's not a show that has a lot of love for the audience. It is just trying to make something and keep the wheels spinning until the next serial is in production.
Yeah. And I mean, like, this is also, a very different thing for Doctor Who to do, because at the time it was, this is, they're going to this, like, weird, like, alternate kind of dimension or something, and it's not really clear what the Toymaker's realm is.
Yeah.
But, like, it is, I don't know, it's just like, oh yeah, they wanted to do this.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, it does strike me as one of those, like, I'm glad they tried it, I'm sorry it turned out like this.
Yeah.
Which I feel about a lot of Doctor Who episodes.
Yeah, I think a lot of classic Doctor Who, I feel like I'm glad that they take the swing. I wish that it had been better.
Yeah.
I wish it had been better. There's a universe where this all comes together and it's great, even on a limited, like, budget of, tuppence on a string. But this ain't it. It's just not it. It's just disappointing and racist and dull, and we've had to go back and redo it, arguably twice if you count the giggle. And here's the thing about the giggle has to fundamentally change almost everything about the Toymaker to make this work. It turns the Toymaker, the giggle turns the Toymaker into a kind of aggressively camp, overly exuberant Q from Star Trek: The Next Generation, in order to kind of make that premise work. And kind of like, also, the Toymaker in the giggle doesn't cheat, gotta follow the rules. All of the Toymaker's minions in this story are like, how can we bend or actively break the rules? Like, I don't know where the 14th Doctor gets the idea of, no, he has to abide by the rules of the game. Where are you getting this from, my guy? You looked Michael Gow in the face. You stared at him in his eyes and watched him cheat at you. That happened less than 6 decades ago. And it's one of those things where this serial gained, like, a kind of a notoriety in fan circles in the 80s, to the point where Colin Baker's Doctor was at one point going to go up against the Toymaker. They were going to recast the Toymaker. They were going, or maybe they weren't going to recast the Toymaker, but the first story of the aborted version of season 23, which is the season that became Trial of a Time Lord, the first story was going to be the Sixth Doctor and Perry versus the Toymaker in Blackpool. And Big Finish did an audio adaptation of it, and I've not listened to it because I fundamentally hate the Toymaker as a character. But it,
Thank you so much for agreeing to be on this episode, Ben.
You're very welcome. I have so much to say. And I know too much about this character and the history of this story and blah, 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 blah. And it's just one of those things where if these 3 episodes, if the 3 missing episodes from this story are ever found, I will book a flight to England and I will lose them again myself. That's how I feel about the Celestial Toymaker.
Wow. Yeah. I have to say also, like, I am generally, like, just the way I consume things is, like, I will find something to love about anything. Like, there is
Michael
stuff...
Gow's in this, and Michael Gow's having fun, clearly.
Yeah. But it's, this is one of those episodes where it's really hard for me to find things to like. And, like, you know, I find things to like about Fear Her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm really almost superhuman at finding things to like. But,
it's a skill. You laugh at all my jokes, and that really is the hallmark of finding things to like.
That is true. That's true, because you're not funny or interesting. You're
the dullest
awful
person. I'm a wretched,
I hate you.
Fetid excuse of a human being, and I should go
But
to
I
jail.
still like you, and because
Get out of here. What's wrong with you that you like me? Hey, that's been my attitude to all of my relationships, including with my family. Hey, hoo, ha, ha. Okay.
Hey, Ben, I need you to know that those were all jokes that I said, and you're actually a wonderful person, and I love you.
If you want to send me affirmations, you can leave them in the form of a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts.
Mm-hmm. You can.
Just tell me how great I am.
And please do, because Ben's great. I don't know if...
Okay, I'm all right.
I don't know how much of Ben you're familiar with, fans, listeners.
But scrub up nice for a posh bird, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so yes, we watched this.
We watched it. We got through
and now it's gone, and now it's done. We don't have to look at this anymore. No.
The Blu-ray has gone back on my shelf, and I don't have to take it off again until I'm asked to watch it for a different Doctor Who podcast. And that's when an episode is bad, and you see it on your shelf, and you go, Like, I can't wait for them to release Doctor Who: The Collection Season 3, because then I won't have to see the words "The Toymaker" on my shelf anymore. It will be hidden. The disc will be tucked away between the Ark, which is shit, and the Gunfighters, which is mwah.
I actually love the Ark.
I have problems. It's a troubling story.
Yeah. But, you know, I'm just... unfortunately, I'm just recklessly enthusiastic about everything. And but even me,
put in the W at the front of reckless. You cannot be wrecked.
Yep, it's true.
Unwreckable.
Come on, just try and wreck me.
That's what
just
it
try.
says on your resume. The unwreckable, the unwreckable Becca the Matrix archivist.
The unwreckable Kimmy Schmidt.
Hey, here's a fucked up thing. You know how you don't credit your full name when we're talking? You're always Becca the Matrix archivist. Because you do not want Disney to come after you because they are the current distributors of Doctor Who.
True.
Remind our listeners again what is on the TV behind you right now. I just think, hang on.
Yes.
This is worse. You get how this is worse.
Right? Yeah, we were watching Woody pretend that Buzz Lightyear is intact and just not, he's doing a fun handshake with his disembodied arm. Yeah. I've given up on that. Like, the ending credits have my last name because I just...
okay.
And it's...
I should really listen to the show, huh?
It would be nice. Yeah. I don't know. You don't have to.
I'll get to it.
It's not for everybody.
I've just discovered this podcast called Welcome to Night Vale, and I really want to get through all of that.
Oh yeah. I got through all of that.
Yeah.
First, and then get through all of My Brother and Me is a good one.
Yeah. Here's a fun fact about this scene of Toy Story that we are currently watching is when you see the wide shot of the house the two windows of the house. That is not fully rendered 3D. It's a flat matte painting, and the only animated, I think we've gone past it now, but the only animated stuff is the toys in the windows. Everything else is a flat image.
Oh, wow.
Because it meant those frames would render more quickly.
Nice.
Yeah. They do that a lot. There's a lot of, if the camera is not moving, there's a good chance that at least part of the background is flat.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I know they did that in this is a weird parallel to draw, but it is the same sort of era.
Toy Story 2.
They did that in Ocarina of Time.
Oh yeah.
With all of
all the
Castletown stuff
yeah.
is like oh yeah, nope, just fixed things.
Although they went back and did it in real time for the 3DS version. Fun fact.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. One of these days I'll lend you my 3DS and you can play it.
I would love that. I love Ocarina of Time. It's the best game ever made.
Ever made?
I don't know.
I don't know. Worms Armageddon is pretty good.
Oh yeah, I forgot who I was talking to.
Yeah. I don't got an Ocarina of Time tattoo. I do have a Worms tattoo.
True. Yeah. Do you want to show that to our YouTube audience?
Assuming it won't get blurred out, and I've got to stand up in a way that doesn't reveal my everything below the waist because I am
naked.
Yeah, I'm only wearing underpants. Yeah, this is my worm. I'm showing my worm on cam. Getting blurry because I'm using a blur. Yeah, this is yeah.
It's very good.
I got that done while I was in England in May at the a tattoo shop that my sister liked on Facebook.
Ben, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me wherever injustice can be found, wherever the cries of the downtrodden and defeated howl through the swirling echoes of the void.
Oh, wow. Literally everywhere, huh?
Wherever pain and misery is found, I will be there, lurking in the darkness, ready to fight for justice, ready to fight for those who need help the most. But if you can't,
great. Well, thanks for listening to the.
I'm on Blue Sky, benpaddon.net. I'm on Instagram, Ben Paddon. I'm on Tumblr, benpaddon.tumblr.com. Please listen to Jump Leads. Season 2 is looming ever closer. I'm in the home stretch of editing. Becca is going to be doing the music for season 2. I'm very, very excited about this whole thing. We have we've been announcing cast this week. That we've announced some of our guest cast for Jump Lead season 2. Can I share some of those with you now, Becca?
Please do.
So in no particular order, Mark Biaggi. I've never asked how Mark pronounces his last name. Who played Dr. Gerald Robotnik and Vector the Crocodile in Sonic Adventure 2. Christina M. Medina, who has been in shows such as DC Superhero Girls, Lego DC, a bunch of stuff. Star Trek Very Short Treks. Debbie Derryberry, the voice of Jimmy Neutron, is joining us.
Amazing.
Dave Fennoy, who fans of Telltale games will recognize as the voice of the main character in Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 1. Daniel Ross, the third official voice of Donald Duck.
Wow.
Is in our stupid little sci-fi comedy audio drama. And that's just the cast we've announced this week. That's not even everyone.
Amazing.
So, yeah, please check that out, audio.jumpleads.zone, or just search for Jump Leads in your podcasting apparatus of preference.
Amazing. Ben, do you think it's maybe important because it is a podcast and you'll probably need to do I don't know if you do audio credits, but it's probably good to find out how all of your cast pronounces their names. Yeah,
I should ask Mark how he pronounces his last name. That's entirely on me. I was just swept up in the fact that Mark is a fellow Doctor Who fan. I met Mark at San Diego WhoCon. Fun fact.
Oh, wow.
And also, Mark's been in 3 Worms games.
Oh, my goodness.
But I've worked on 4, so I'm better than he is. I'm sorry, I don't mean to brag, but I'm gonna. Because I'm good at it.
Do it. Drop that mic.
I'm gonna brag. I'm so good at bragging.
Mm.
Have you heard me brag? Really good at it.
You're so good at it.
So
Hey
fucking
Ben,
good at
can
bragging.
you just quickly also brag about the other podcast that you're on?
Oh
I think
yeah,
it's
Good
called
Chaotic.
Evil Lawful.
Evil Lawful, Good Chaotic. Good Chaotic is an RPG actual play podcast. We are currently playing Scum and Villainy, the sci-fi flavored RPG system from Evil Hat Productions. And I play a character who is a crack pilot named Trip Odometer. My third favorite name for any character that I've ever given. It's so good.
It's very good.
We're having a good time. You can find that at goodchaotic.com or just search for Good Chaotic in your podcasting apps. We've done some live shows recently. We did a live show at Anime Expo. We did a live show at LFG Con. We're going to be pitching some more live shows to places like LA Comic Con and a handful of other things. And obviously we have Galley every year. And yeah, we did a live show at Galley this year with Alfie Shaw of Big Finish.
Well, that was a game of Rassilon.
Yeah.
Thing,
Well, we
but
did
it's
it-
the same crew. It's the same.
Well, yeah, now it's Good Chaotic presents the game of
Yeah.
Rassilon.
So
Yeah.
it's very exciting.
Yeah, so check out Good Chaotic and check out Jump Leads. And let's give a shout out as well to Mandy, the host, the regular co-host of this show, who you can find on Instagram. Mandy's handle is MandyQueerSolid on most social media platforms, but predominantly Instagram.
Yeah. And listeners, please join us next week. Whew. Ben, the random number generator really wants me to suffer because next week we're going to be talking about the Horns of Naimon.
Oh no, my dreams of conquest.
It is I, Soul Lead.
I definitely had what's his face with the cape in mind for Horns of Naimon. From Horns of Naimon when I was writing the villain at the beginning of the season 2 premiere of Jump Leads.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, you'll see.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. All right.
All right.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you for letting me burp in your ear just now.
weeks.
I'm so sorry. Please, you can cut that out. You can cut out the burp. Don't cut out my apology. Make it weird.
Perfect. All right.
All right, everyone.
Bye.
Catch you on the flippy.
Thanks for listening to Stitches in Time. Music by Becca, the Matrix Archivist. Art by Mandy Oquendo. Logo by Ben Paddon. Find us on the web at www.stitchesintie.me. Stitches in Time, but with a dot in the middle of the word time.
And I always snap my fingers into the microphone so you get a nice little markers where the room tone is.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm helpful, idiot.
You really are. And I really am an idiot. All right. So are you gonna do an I'm Ben and I thing? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Is anybody ready for this fucking episode of Doctor Who? Okay.
4 legs, no feet, of arms no lack, it carries no burden on its back. 6 deadly sisters, 7 for choice, call the servants without voice.
You know, one of my goals in Stitches in Time, and this is pertinent to this episode too. One of my goals
is to kill Ian Levy.
Jesus Christ. Not quite.
You're right, I shouldn't project onto you.
Yeah. Ben, can we stop having conversations that we had off mic? I just wanna.
They must find your TARDIS before you finish your game. If they don't, then you will have to stay here, and you'll be in my power forever.
There are no cool Republicans.
True.
That's true.
Yeah.
You can look it up.
It says on, if you just Google cool Republicans, it just says 0 results.
If you go to are there any cool Republicans.gov, actually, if it was a .gov right now, then it'd probably...
they'd be like, all
yeah, we're cool. Yeah, we're cool. We're cool.
Oh my god.
If you go to are there any cool Republicans.horse, just a big word no in a serif font. And underneath it just says, "You fuckers."
Ben, are you going to have to buy that domain now?
.horse domains are prohibitively expensive for me. I'm not doing that every year for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Listeners, if you want to buy us that domain forever, please don't. Please don't waste your money on that.
Stephen, don't you see who they are?
Well, yes, they do look familiar.
They're playing cards. We should play our next game with a couple of playing cards.
The Toymaker's warped sense of humor, I suppose.
Maybe there's some thing
On the wing, you've got to believe me.
why is my brain not working?
Someone on the wing, something on the wing. You gotta believe me. Okay, it's not the best Shatner, but I gave it my all.
That's pretty good. The commitment is, when you commit to it, that makes it a good impression.
It's not even my Shatner. It's me doing Jim Carrey's Shatner from the second Ace Ventura movie, which is, coincidentally enough, the racist one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if anyone says to you, "Hey, do you want to watch one of the Ace Ventura movies?" You say, "What? Which one? The transphobic one or the racist one?" And then they don't want to watch Ace Ventura anymore, and it's perfect.
Unless they're a cool Republican.
Unless they're a cool Republican. That's a divide by zero, because again, that person does not exist.
You know, you're one of my heroes. When I grow up, I want to be just like you.
When you grow up? Yes. Well, you look pretty grown up to me already.
Yeah.
I know I've been doing a lot of talking, and I've been doing a lot of interrupting of you, a woman. But I'm not a man, so I think that's okay.
Yeah. You've got like half a pass for that.
Yeah, it's fine. Or a pa, if you will. Pa, that's a dad, that's a man. Shit. Fuck. Oh, God. Good luck editing this one.
Why do I have to jump?
Well, you can walk if you like, but I shouldn't if I were you.
Why not?
Well, you see, all the area between the triangles is electric. You'll be killed.
You can actually cut that out.
I might cut out the whole thing. I might just cut this whole episode.
So it's just going to open with us saying, "Way," and then us going, "Bye," and then that's it. That's the whole thing.
3.
Careful there.
1, 2, 3.
If this show is about Doctor Who in chronological order from the Big Bang to the heat death of the universe, this doesn't take place in this universe.
True.
And neither does almost anything from the East Space trilogy.
True.
And neither does Rise of the Cybermen Age of Steel.
True.
And neither does the Doctor's wife. So my argument is, you can just cut all those out.
Can I really? Because we've already ended the episode.
I mean, I'm still recording, but yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that, which I will address, is that just because I'm starting at the Big Bang of our universe and I'm going to the heat death of our universe, doesn't mean I can't visit other universes in between there.
I mean, that's true, but here's the thing.
You're fired.
You can't fire me.
That's true.
You just can't fire me.
You're right.
Yeah.
That would require hiring you.
If you made it this, if this is a post-credits thing and you've made it this far, faithful listener, if you meet me in person, you can ask for a hug or a kiss. Please ask for a hug. It must be consensual. Because you've made it so far into something so deep and so unnecessary.
I'm really excited for the next time I'm at Galley and somebody comes up to you and asks if they can kiss you, and you will have no memory of saying this at the end of this random episode.
I've already forgotten that I said that.
It's gonna be great.
I'm sitting here thinking, Becca, what are you talking about?
Oh my god. All right.
I'm going to stop recording now.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.